Hilario Yanez was featured by the New York Times as the publication profiled young immigrants who were spared from deportation under the Obama-era Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. As you know it, it's called DACA. As it turns out, the so-called dreamer actually supports a border wall. He's here to tell us why. Hilario, welcome tonight.
Hey, Ed, how you doing? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. I appreciate you coming in. Please, there's an assumption out there, wrongly, that all the dreamers support the Democrats and would automatically be against the wall. But you buck that trend. Why?
Well, I speak to hundreds and thousands of dreamers, and honestly, I think we all agree that we support anything that keeps our country safe or even safer. And I believe that, that if that means a barrier, that means technology, Border Patrol, then I agree. We all agree with the president and as well with the millions of Americans. I think safety should be our #1 priority.
It's interesting because when you first came on Fox about a year or so ago, people started attacking you, including Suzanne Hamner. She wrote this op-ed. Among other things, she said that your attitude toward the Republic is admirable, but it does not negate the fact that Mr. Yanez is an illegal alien invader of his own volition once he reached adulthood. To portray him as the norm of dreamers instead of the exception, then to imply support for his violation of the law is nothing less than disgraceful and a slap to the face of constitutionalists and supporters of President Trump's campaign platform. How do you respond?
Well, the only thing that I can say is that the dreamer community, along with the Americans, our fellow Americans, we're just tired of what's going on with immigration. The issue has, been always kicked down the can for many years, and it's time to do something. It's time to, bring safety to our American people. It's time to, bring a permanent solution for DACA, and I think this is the perfect time to have all parties come together. At the end of the day, the dreamer community wants to see the president succeed, wants to see this country succeed, and we want Americans to be safe at the same time.
But Hilario, you know that the president believes that Nancy Pelosi and other Democratic leaders don't want him to succeed. And Chuck Schumer and other Democrats, Barack Obama, used to support a barrier, and now that President Trump is for it, they seem to be against it. So what's your message to Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer in terms of trying to bring together a broader deal here?
Yeah, I mean, the president is living up to his moral duties, which is to protect this country, and he has every right to ask for border security. Every past president has done this. It's nothing new. This is the same thing. But I think the tables have turned a little bit. I think now the Democrats control the House. So in order to give, you have to get, and fortunately, there's opportunities to compromise and have both parties come together so we can have a huge win for the American people.
Well, Hilario, contrary to all the pessimism in Washington tonight, you seem to be a young, optimistic young person who wants to see all these sides come together and actually fix the problem. So I've got a minute. We started the show with Republican Lindsey Graham trying to pull together a deal really along the lines of what you're saying. Give the Democrats DACA, basically keep folks like you who were here, brought here illegally, essentially put you on the path to citizenship, let you stay here in America. In exchange, the president should get border wall funding. Do you think a deal like that could come together?
I agree. I mean, I'm very optimistic. I think the time is now. Enough. It's no more excuses. I think if both parties come together, it'll be a huge win for the American people. It'll be a huge win for the president. And also, we can bring certainty once and for all for the dreamer community as well.
Hilario Yanez, who says there's no more excuses. We'll see whether Congress, Democrats and Republicans, hear your message tonight. We appreciate you coming in.
Thank you, Ed.
Ed.